Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. Imagine waking up 1 year from today in the exact same position you are in right now. Same excuses, same fears, same regrets, still watching other people win while you wonder when your life is finally going to change. Feel that pain for a moment. Because the truth is, most people never become who they were meant to be. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they spend their entire lives waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect time. And while they wait, life passes them by. Right now, there are dreams dying inside millions of people, not because those dreams were impossible, but because fear was stronger than action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being laughed at, fear of not being enough. But let me ask you something. How much longer are you going to live beneath your potential? How much longer are you going to keep doubting yourself when deep inside you know you were made for more? Because I believe there's something powerful inside you, something dangerous, something bigger than your excuses, bigger than your past, bigger than that. E-pain you've been carrying, but the world will never see it if you keep hiding. And listen carefully, this video is not for weak minds. This video is for the people who are tired of feeling stuck, tired of starting and quitting, tired of looking in the mirror and knowing they are capable of more. This is for the person who's been fighting silent battles nobody knows about. The person who smiles outside but feels broken inside. The person who keeps getting knocked down by life but still has a small voice inside saying, don't give up yet. Because that voice matters. That voice is the reason you're still here. Most people stop when life gets painful. Most people surrender when things become uncomfortable. But the people who change their lives, the people who become unforgettable, they learn how to use pain as fuel. And tonight, something inside you is going to shift, not because of magic, not because motivation alone changes lives, but because truth changes people. And the truth is this: nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you confidence. Nobody's going to hand you discipline. Nobody's going to build your dream life for you. It's on you. Your future is waiting on the decisions you make after this video ends, not next week, not next year, now. So if you're tired of being average, if you're tired of doubting yourself, if you're tired of watching life pass by while your dreams stay trapped in your mind, then stay with me until the end of this video. Because by the time this is over, you will not see yourself the same way again. This is your wake-up call. This is your turning point. And this is your time. People spend most of their lives waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for motivation, waiting for support, waiting for someone to believe in them before they believe in themselves. But the truth is, success does not begin when the world gives you permission. Success begins the moment you stop waiting and decide to move forward anyway. Too many people are standing at the edge of greatness frozen because they are looking around for approval. They want somebody to tell them they are good enough. They want guarantees before they take risks. They want certainty before they take action. But life does not work like that. The people who change their lives are not always the smartest, the richest, or the most talented. They are the ones who take action when nobody else does. You have to understand something powerful. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to knock on your door and hand you your dream life. Nobody is going to magically build your future while you sit still. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. The perfect moment does not exist. There will always be fear. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be obstacles. But winners move anyway. A lot of people waste years asking for permission to become who they already know they are meant to be. They ask permission from family, permission from friends, permission from society. They allow other people's opinions to control their destiny. And because of that, they stay trapped in lives they hate. They silence their dreams because somebody laughed at them once. They stop trying because someone told them they were not good enough. But let me tell you something, the people who doubted you do not get to decide your future. Every successful person had a moment where they had to bet on themselves before anybody else did. Before the applause, before the recognition, before the results. There was a season where nobody believed in them. And that is the test. And you keep going when nobody is cheering for you. Can you stay disciplined when nobody is watching? Can you believe in your vision even when it has not happened yet? That is where greatness is born. The world respects movement, not excuses, not complaints, movement. You cannot think your way into success forever. At some point, you have to act. You have to start even when you are scared. You have to take the first step even when the staircase is dark. Fear is normal. Doubt is normal. But staying stuck because of fear is what destroys dreams. Most people are not failing because they lack talent. They are failing because they never start. They spend years planning, talking, wishing, and imagining while somebody less talented is out there taking action every single day. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates results. But it all starts with movement. There are people right now living the life you want, not because they are special, but because they refuse to wait. They started with nothing. No connections, no support, no perfect conditions. They simply decided that enough was enough. GH, they got tired of excuses, tired of fear, tired of doubting themselves, and they made a choice to move forward no matter how uncomfortable it felt. That decision changes everything. You have dreams inside you for a reason. Your vision was not given to you by accident. The ideas in your mind, the goals in your heart, the hunger you feel for something greater, all of that exists because there is more in you than your current situation. But dreams without action become frustration. You cannot keep saying you want more while refusing to do more. Sometimes you have to stop asking people what they think about your dreams. Some people will never understand your vision because it was not given to them. Stop shrinking your ambitions to make insecure people comfortable. Stop apologizing for wanting greatness. Stop waiting for approval from people who never had the courage to chase their own dreams. The moment you stop waiting for permission is the moment you become dangerous. Because now your life is no longer controlled by opinions. It is controlled by purpose. And understand this clearly. Growth will always feel uncomfortable. The moment you decide to level up, resistance will appear. People will question you. Some will laugh at you. Some will doubt you. Even your own mind will try to convince you to stay safe and comfortable. But comfort is expensive. Comfort steals potential. Comfort kills dreams quietly. You cannot become extraordinary while living like everybody else. At some point, you must decide that your future matters more than your fear. There are people who spent their entire lives waiting for confidence before taking action. But confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. Every small step you take makes you stronger. Every challenge you survive makes you wiser. Every time you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more. That is why action is so powerful. Action changes identity. When you consistently show up, work hard, and push through discomfort, you stop seeing yourself as weak. You stop seeing yourself as average. You become someone who knows they can survive hard things. And the truth is, your future is shaped by the decisions you make today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a dangerous word because it creates the illusion that there is always more time. But opportunities disappear. Time. Me moves fast. Years pass quickly. One day you wake up and realize you spent most of your life waiting instead of living. Do not let that happen to you. Start now. Start scared. Start tired. Start uncertain. But start. You do not need everybody to believe in you. You only need enough belief to take the next step. One step becomes another, then another, then another. And eventually, the life you once dreamed about becomes your reality. But it begins with a decision to stop waiting, a decision to stop hiding, a decision to stop asking for permission to chase greatness. Because the moment you realize that nobody is coming to rescue you is the exact moment you become powerful. Now you stop depending on luck. Now you stop depending on approval. Now you stop depending on perfect conditions. Now you depend on your work ethic, your discipline, your mindset, your hunger. And that is where transformation begins. The world belongs to people who move with courage even when fear is present. The people who win in life are not fearless. They simply refuse to let fear make decisions for them. So stop waiting for permission to become who you were born to be. Your life is why. Ting on your action. Pain is something every human being tries to avoid. Nobody wakes up asking for struggle. Nobody prays for heartbreak, failure, rejection, disappointment, or loss. But one of the greatest truths about life is that pain can either destroy you or build you. The difference depends on how you respond to it. Most people look at pain as punishment. They think their struggles mean life is against them. They think hard moments are signs that they should quit. But sometimes the very thing that hurts you is the thing shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Sometimes your pain is not there to break you. Sometimes it is there to prepare you. Every strong person you admire has gone through suffering. Every successful person has scars nobody talks about. Behind every powerful story is a season of loneliness, doubt, sacrifice, and struggle. Strength is not born in comfort. Strength is created in pressure. Think about it. A diamond is formed under pressure. Gold is refined through fire. Muscles grow by being pushed beyond their limits. Everything valuable goes through a process before it becomes powerful. Human beings are no different. Pain has a way of revealing, who you truly are. When life is easy, everybody feels confident. Everybody feels motivated when things are going their way. But when life gets hard, when doors close, when people walk away, when plans fall apart, that is when character is revealed. Some people collapse under pressure. Others rise because of it. Your hardest moments often carry the greatest lessons. Failure teaches humility. Rejection teaches resilience. Loss teaches appreciation. Struggle teaches discipline. Pain forces growth in ways comfort never can. There are lessons you can only learn through suffering. A lot of people are angry about what they went through. They spend years asking, why me? But sometimes the better question is, what is this pain trying to teach me? Because pain always leaves something behind. Wisdom, strength, perspective, hunger, maturity. The question is whether you will use it or waste it. Some of the strongest people in the world were once broken. They know what it feels like to lose everything. They know what it feels like to cry in silence. They know what it feels like to be doubted, abandoned, and overlooked. But instead of allowing pain to bury them, they used it as fuel. That is the difference between victims and warriors. Victims allow pain to define their limits. Warriors allow pain to sharpen their mindset. You cannot control every situation in life. Sometimes life hits you unexpectedly. Sometimes you work hard and still fail. Sometimes you love people who hurt you. Sometimes you give your best and still get rejected. That is life. Pain is unavoidable, but suffering forever is a choice. Some people stay trapped in their pain because they never transform it into purpose. They replay old wounds every day until those wounds become their identity. But healing begins when you decide your pain will not be the end of your story. Your struggles are not proof that you are weak. Sometimes they are proof that you are growing. There are moments in life where pain pushes you to another level because comfort never could. Comfort makes people lazy. Comfort makes people settle. Comfort convinces people to stay average. But pain wakes people up. Pain forces people to change. Pain creates urgency. A person who has truly suffered develops a different mentality. They stop taking opportunities for granted. They stop wasting time. They stop depending on motivation. On alone. Pain gives them perspective. It reminds them how precious life is and how important growth becomes. Sometimes your greatest breakthrough comes after your greatest breakdown. The problem is that most people quit too early. They walk away in the middle of the process because pain convinces them that nothing is working. But growth often happens silently. Just because you cannot see progress immediately does not mean you are not becoming stronger. A seed buried underground probably feels trapped in darkness before it becomes a tree. The process is uncomfortable, but the process is necessary. There are people right now who are stronger because of what they survived. The rejection made them independent. The heartbreak made them wiser. The failure made them disciplined. The struggle made them hungry. What once looked like destruction became preparation. That is the power of pain when you refuse to let it defeat you. Pain can create empathy too. People who have suffered deeply often understand others more deeply. They know how it feels to struggle, so they move with compassion. They become voices of hope because they understand darkness personally. Sometimes your pain is precisely preparing you to help somebody else survive theirs. Your scars can become proof that healing is possible. But healing does not happen by pretending pain does not exist. You must face it honestly. You must stop running from your struggles and start learning from them. The strongest people are not the ones who never feel pain. The strongest people are the ones who keep moving forward despite it. There will be moments where life feels unfair. Moments where you feel exhausted mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Moments where giving up feels easier than continuing. But those moments are often where transformation begins. Because every time you survive something difficult, you discover strength you did not know you had. Pain introduces you to yourself. It reveals your endurance, your patience, your courage, your faith. It teaches you that you are capable of surviving more than you imagine. And once you realize that, fear loses power over you. A person who has survived hard times walks differently. They speak differently. They think differently. They understand that temporary pain cannot stop permanent purpose. That is why you must never allow struggle to convince you that your life has no value. Some of the most powerful stories begin with pain. Some of the greatest leaders, athletes, artists, and visionaries were shaped by suffering long before the world saw their success. Pain is often the training ground for greatness. And sometimes the very thing you are crying about today will become the reason you are stronger tomorrow. The nights you spent struggling taught you discipline. The loneliness taught you self-respect. The setbacks taught you patience. The disappointments taught you wisdom. None of it was wasted if it made you stronger. The danger is not pain itself. The danger is giving up because of pain. The danger is allowing temporary suffering to convince you to stop fighting for your future. Do not let pain make you bitter. Let it make you better. Use your struggles as fuel. Use rejection as motivation. Use failure as education. Use hardship as preparation. Every difficult season carries the potential to build a stronger version of you if you refuse to quit. One day the pain you survive will become part of your power. One day the struggle that almost broke you will become the story that inspires somebody else to keep going. One day you will look back and realize that your hardest seasons produced your greatest growth. And when that moment comes, you will understand something life-changing. Pain was never sent to destroy you. It was sent to prepare you for the person you were becoming. Everybody loves motivation when it feels good. Everybody feels powerful after watching an inspiring video, hearing an emotional speech, or getting excited about a new goal. In those moments, people feel unstoppable. They promise themselves they are going to change their lives, wake up early, work harder, and become better. But the truth is, motivation alone is temporary. It comes and goes like emotion. Some days you feel inspired, and some days you do not. That is why motivation can start the journey, but discipline is what truly changes your life. The problem with relying only on motivation is that motivation depends on feelings, and feelings are unstable. There will be mornings when you wake up tired. There will be days when nothing feels exciting. There will be moments when your mind tells you to quit, rest, delay, or give up completely. If you only work when you feel motivated, you will never become consistent. And without C, I'll say greatness is impossible. Discipline is different. Discipline does not ask how you feel before taking action. Discipline says do it anyway. Even when you are tired, even when nobody is watching, even when progress feels slow, even when excuses sound convincing. Discipline teaches you to move with purpose regardless of emotion. That is why disciplined people achieve things that talented people never do. Talent means nothing without consistency. Intelligence means nothing without effort. Potential means nothing without action. The world is filled with gifted people who never became great because they lack discipline. At the same time, there are ordinary people doing extraordinary things simply because they refuse to stop showing up every day. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Everybody wants success, but very few people are willing to live the lifestyle success requires. People love the idea of winning, but they hate the process that creates winners. They want the results without the sacrifice. They want confidence without struggle. They want greatness without pressure. But life does not reward wishes. Life rewards habits. Your daily habits are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. Every day you either build yourself or weaken yourself. Every decision matters. Every hour matters. The small choices repeated over time become your identity. If you constantly choose comfort over growth, your life will stay the same. But if you choose discipline repeatedly, even in small ways, your entire future changes. Discipline is waking up early when your bed feels comfortable. It is working on your goals when distractions are everywhere. It is staying focused when people around you are wasting time. It is controlling your mind when negativity tries to take over. Discipline is not glamorous. Most of the time it is boring, repetitive, and difficult. But that is exactly why it is powerful. The truth is, success is often built in silence. People only see the victory at the end. They see the awards, the money, the confidence, the achievements. What they do not see are the lonely mornings, the sacrifices, the failures, the repetition, and the discipline behind it all. Greatness is created long before the world notices it. There are days when you will not feel like trying. That is normal. Discipline is not about feeling excited. Ted, every day, it is about understanding that your future matters more than your temporary emotions. A lot of people destroy their own progress because they listen to every feeling they have. When they feel tired, they stop. When they feel discouraged, they quit. When things become difficult, they run away. But disciplined people understand something powerful. Feelings are temporary, but consequences last much longer. Your future self is depending on the discipline you build today. Every excuse has a cost. Every delay has a cost. Every wasted day slowly becomes a wasted year. People think success is lost in one big moment, but most of the time, it is lost through small acts of inconsistency repeated daily. Discipline protects you from becoming your own worst enemy. Without discipline, distractions control your life. Laziness controls your life. Fear controls your life. Social media controls your life. Comfort controls your life. But discipline gives you control over yourself. And self-control is one of the most powerful skills a human being can develop, because the hardest person to conquer is yourself. It is easy to blame circumstances. Easy to blame lack of opportunity. Ease. Why to blame other people? But eventually every person must face the truth. Your habits are either helping your dreams or destroying them. Discipline forces honesty. It forces you to stop lying to yourself. It forces you to stop making excuses. It forces you to take responsibility for your actions. And responsibility is where growth begins. The people who achieve greatness are not always more motivated than everyone else. Often they are simply more disciplined. They continue working after excitement disappears. They stay committed after failure. They remain focused after disappointment. They understand that success is not built through random bursts of effort. Success is built through consistent action over time. Think about athletes. Think about soldiers. Think about entrepreneurs. Think about anyone who has mastered their craft. None of them reached high levels because they felt motivated every day. They reached those levels because discipline became part of their identity. Discipline transforms average people into dangerous people. Because once you become disciplined, excuses lose their power. You stop depending on perfect conditions. You stop waiting for inspiration. Top negotiating with your goals. You become someone who executes regardless of circumstances. And that mentality changes everything. Discipline also builds confidence. Real confidence does not come from talking. It comes from evidence. When you repeatedly keep promises to yourself, your self-respect grows. Every workout completed, every goal pursued, every distraction resisted becomes proof that you can trust yourself. That trust creates inner strength. One of the biggest reasons people feel lost is because they constantly betray their own goals. They promise themselves they will change, then quit after a few days. Over time, they stop believing in themselves. But discipline rebuilds that belief because it creates consistency. You start realizing that you are capable of more than you thought. Discipline is freedom, even though many people think it is restriction. A disciplined mind is free from chaos. A disciplined person does not become a slave to emotion, laziness, or distraction. They control their choices instead of being controlled by impulses. And understand this clearly. Discipline becomes most important when life gets hard. Anybody can stay committed when things are. easy. But when pain comes, when failure happens, when motivation disappears, discipline is what keeps you moving forward. Discipline carries you through the days when your mind wants to quit. That is why discipline creates resilience. It teaches you endurance. It trains your mind to handle discomfort. And the more discomfort you learn to handle, the stronger you become. A weak mind searches for comfort constantly. A disciplined mind searches for growth. At the end of the day, your life will reflect your standards. If your standards are low, your results will stay low. But if you demand discipline from yourself daily, your entire reality begins to shift. You become sharper, stronger, more focused, more confident. And eventually people will look at your success and call you lucky without realizing how many disciplined choices created that success behind the scenes. The life you want is not built through motivation alone. It is built through the habits you repeat when motivation disappears. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop depending on temporary emotions. Build discipline, because discipline is what separates people who talk about dreams from people who actually achieve them. And once discipline becomes your lifestyle, your limits begin to disappear. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that there is always more time to chase dreams, more time to take risks, more time to become healthier, stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. People delay their purpose as if life comes with unlimited chances. They say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do it next month, or one day things will change. But the truth is, someday is dangerous, because someday often turns into never. Your time is now, not when conditions become perfect, not when fear disappears, not when everybody supports you. Right now, in this moment, because life rewards people who act, not people who endlessly prepare to act. Every second you spend doubting yourself is a second your potential stays buried. Every year you spend waiting is a year you never get back. Time is the one thing in life that cannot be replaced. You can lose money and earn it again. You can fail and recover. You can lose opportunities and create new ones. But once time is gone, it is gone forever. That is why people who understand the value of time move different entirely. They stop wasting energy on excuses. They stop living like tomorrow is guaranteed. They understand that every day matters. The problem is that many people are trapped in hesitation. They are waiting for confidence before taking action. But confidence is built through action, not before it. You do not become fearless and then start. You start, and through the process, you become stronger. There are dreams inside people right now that are dying because fear keeps delaying action. Businesses that were never started, talents that were never developed, ideas that were never shared with the world, lives that stayed average because someone kept saying, maybe later. But later is not promised. Life moves fast, faster than most people realize. One day you are young, full of ideas and possibilities. Then suddenly years have passed and regret begins to grow. Regret is painful because deep inside, people know they were capable of more. They know they wasted opportunities waiting for the right time. The right time is now. You have already spent enough time doubting yourself, enough time overthinking, enough time comparing yourself to others, enough time being afraid of failure. There comes a moment where you must decide that your future matters more than your excuses. Because understand this clearly, nobody becomes successful accidentally. Nobody wakes up one day with a better life without first making difficult decisions. Transformation requires urgency. It requires commitment. It requires action. There are people with less talent than you winning right now because they decided to move while others hesitated. There are people who were scared, uncertain, and imperfect, but they acted anyway. And because they acted, their lives changed. The world belongs to people who stop waiting. Too many people waste years living below their potential because they are afraid of discomfort. They fear failure. They fear judgment. They fear looking foolish. But failure is temporary. Embarrassment is temporary. Pain is temporary. Regret can last forever. Imagine reaching the end of your life knowing you never truly tried. Knowing you spent decades trapped in fear while your dreams slowly disappeared inside you. That pain is far heavier than temporary failure. At least when you try, you grow. At least when you fight, you discover what you are capable of. At least when you take action, you give yourself a chance. Your future is shaped by the choices you make today, not the choices you keep postponing. Success is not built in giant moments alone. It is built through daily decisions. The decision to wake up earlier, the decision to stay disciplined, the decision to focus instead of procrastinate, the decision to keep going after failure. Every small action creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. But none of it happens if you keep waiting. The truth is, fear never fully disappears. Even successful people feel fear. Even strong people feel uncertainty. The difference is they do not allow fear to control their decisions. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite fear. Some people spend their entire lives preparing for a moment they never enter. They study endlessly but never apply their knowledge. They dream endlessly but never take risks. They talk endlessly but never execute. Talking about success changes nothing. Action changes everything. Your life can look completely different a year from now if you start today. 1 year of discipline, 1 year of focus, 1 year of consistent effort can transform your mind and body, finances, confidence, and future. But you must begin, not tomorrow, today. Every great story starts with a decision to stop running, a decision to stop making excuses, a decision to believe that change is possible. That decision can happen in a single moment, but it can alter the direction of an entire life. There are people right now waiting for motivation before they start, but motivation fades quickly. Action creates motivation. Progress creates motivation. Momentum creates belief. Once you begin moving, your mindset changes because you realize you are capable of more than you imagine. The hardest step is often the first one. After that, growth begins to take over. You become stronger through experience, wiser through mistakes, more confident through repetition. But none of those things happen while standing still. Life does not pause while you hesitate. Opportunities move. Time moves. People move. The world keeps moving forward. And if you stay trapped in fear too long, life will pass you by while you are still waiting for certainty. There will never be a perfect moment. There will always be challenges, always risks, always uncertainty. But success, few people understand that imperfect action is better than perfect hesitation. You do not need to have everything figured out before you begin. You just need enough courage to take the next step and understand something powerful. Every day you delay your growth, you delay the life you could be living. Every day you avoid discipline, you avoid your potential. Every day you stay comfortable, you stay disconnected from the stronger version of yourself waiting to emerge. Your time is now because your future is being built right now, not later. The habits you repeat today shape who you become tomorrow. The choices you make today shape your opportunities tomorrow. The mindset you build today shapes your destiny tomorrow. This moment matters more than you realize. There are people who will continue wasting years making excuses. Do not become one of them. There are people who will continue blaming circumstances instead of changing themselves. Do not become one of them. There are people who will keep waiting for permission while life slips away. Do not become one of them. Decide today that you are done waiting, done doubting, done procrastinating, done settling for less than your potential. Because inside you is a version of yourself capable of greatness. But greatness only reveals itself through action. So start now. Start before you feel ready. Start while you are scared. Start while you are uncertain. Start while the odds are against you. Because the people who change their lives are not the people who waited for the perfect moment. They are the people who realize that the moment they have is now. Before you leave this video, I need you to hear this one last time. Your life can change, but only if you decide it will. Not tomorrow, not next month, right now. There is a version of you that the world has not seen yet. A stronger version, a disciplined version, a fearless version, a version of you that wakes up with purpose, attacks every challenge, and refuses to quit no matter how hard life gets. That person already exists inside you. The question is, are you finally ready to become them? Because deep down, you already know you were made for more. You can feel it. That hunger in your chest, that voice in your mind telling you not to settle. That pain you've been through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to wake you up. Every setback, every rejection, every sleepless night was building something inside you that ordinary people will never understand. But listen carefully, nothing changes if you stay the same. You cannot keep thinking like the old you and expect a new life. You cannot keep making excuses and expect greatness. At some point, you must decide that your dreams matter more than your comfort. And that moment can happen today. Right now, while you are hearing these words, somebody somewhere is giving up on their dream. Somebody is choosing fear over purpose. Somebody is letting doubt control their future. Don't be that person. Be the person who fights back. Be the person who keeps going when life gets hard. Be the person who turns pain into power. Be the person who shocks everybody by refusing to quit. Because years from now, people will either talk about how you gave up or how you rose after every fall and became unstoppable. The choice is yours. And understand this success is not reserved for special people. Success belongs to people who stay consistent when things get difficult. People who work when nobody is watching. People who keep moving even when motivation disappears. That can be you. But you must make a decision, a real decision, not just words, not just temporary excitement, a decision that changes your habits, your mindset, and your standards. A decision that says, I will no longer lie beneath my potential. Imagine how your life could look 1 year from now if you truly committed to yourself. Imagine the confidence, the discipline, the growth, the peace that comes from knowing you fought for your future instead of running from it. That future is possible, but it starts the moment this video ends. So don't close this video and go back to being average. Don't let these words become temporary motivation that fades after an hour. Use this moment. Take action today. Start building the life you know you deserve. And whenever life gets difficult, remember this. You are stronger than your excuses, stronger than your fear, stronger than your past. And this is your time.